We're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
Let them know. It's big things popping. Little things stopping.
We're going to start with De La Soul. On a positive note.
Yeah.
They just hit Tiny Desk and did an incredible performance. I felt like it was smooth, engaging. So the people behind the desk are actually like participating a little bit.
I almost started singing Smooth Operator, but no one needs that.
And they did a lot of De La Soul classics, right? Yeah. And how did you feel about the performance?
Overall, and I use this term a lot, but it's kind of the era we're in, I just felt nostalgic for like good hip hop, and just kind of excited to see our legacy acts get to control their legacy in these ways and introduce themselves to a new generation.
Yeah, I think Posthumous, he kind of sounds like, he kind of gives me like...
Tread lightly. I don't know what you're gonna say.
The hippity the hip hop, and you don't stop vibes. You know what I mean? Sometimes.
Understood. I can hear it.
Yeah, he's a great MC. Yeah. Like hands down, engaging. His cadence is great, but if he echoes the vibe of I took my kids to the school, but it's just smoother.
Agree.
It just has less gaps.
Which I think is the most appreciated thing about like the evolution of hip hop.
Yeah.
Because, you just start off in a rhyme pattern because, with Rapper's Delight, it's just staying within this same setup. So to see their evolution and how they took the origins of hip hop, kept it to hip hop, but brought it new is something that I think De La Soul is like really great about, right?
Yeah, they said something in the interview that I watched where they were like, look, we were on tour with Tribe and some other folks, and we kind of got buried in the noise that was around us. Everybody started blowing up, especially Tribe Called Quest. And so, like, we're in this group and we're feeling like we are the ones that kind of really just need to keep up with everybody.
Yeah.
And De La Soul does give a little bit of that vibe, even though they have a lot of kind of classic, soulful...
Really
connection to the audience. And so, shout out De La Soul for doing the Tiny Desk. Shout out Tiny Desk for continuing to go on, even though, NPR is being attacked by the federal government, all that other stuff. Yeah. NPR is fighting back, though.
As they should.
Yeah. So they're doing a lot of good work on their promo game. And so, yeah, I just love to see our legends continue to shine, especially on platforms that are, kind of more white-centered.
That was funny. But also shout out to them for rest in peace, Dave. That was my favorite part. Is I enjoyed how they
brought his verse in,
and had the spot for him, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a way to honor and keep going forward. They didn't bring somebody in, one of their kids or something, and do the verse. They
had Yummy come in though.
Oh yeah,
she was in the background.
But it was just very appreciated to have that kind of honoring within your group. Like you're missing a piece, but you're not making it like the R&B groups do, where they just kind of replace folks sometimes. It seems like.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah. So this next one is kind of random. Cyhi has been popping out. People did mention that he kind of dissed J. Cole a week or two ago. As of the time of this recording, it's what, March 7th today?
Yep.
I don't even know the date, but whatever. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about his diss to J. Cole. He has gone further than that. He has decided to talk about all the things that have happened behind the scenes of good music all of these years, going back, several, at least a decade now. And he's getting his stuff off. As y'all may know, Cyhi is a Atlanta rapper. Has been connected with good music since the Mercy days, My Twisted Dark Beautiful Fantasy days, and did the Double XL cover, the freestyle with good music, and the suits and all that other stuff.
Yep. Black History Month mixtape, which was like heralded as like one of those really dope mixtapes that should have been an album kind of thing. Yeah. So
Cyhi is like really the writer that's behind the scenes that became the guy. And he's looked at as the guy in hip hop circles, but not necessarily behind the scenes. And so he is sharing some of those feelings on The Good Old Days, which he released just a few days ago. And so I think we're going to talk about some of the lyrics primarily. We're going to start with what he said about Travis Scott.
He was like, and my nigga Travis somehow developed the habit of letting niggas diss us, then try to tell us it's rapping. If I got a verse from Drake, shit, I would be hella happy. But I can't let him diss the bro, so it'll probably never happen. He dropped out of school of Donda and went after and left for Degrassi, which I think is just
interesting line.
A dope line. I like what he did in fashion, but shit just looked hella tacky. When I helped him with his album, it went like 11 platinum, but I still ain't got my swap, and he mad that I'm even asking.
Yeah, so let's break that down a little bit. So basically, everybody's mad at Travis for going over and doing songs with Drake, Sicko Mode, right?
Yeah, and then being the push for like the beef with Kendrick and them, and yeah, he's weird, bro.
Do we even think Travis is thinking about these things?
If he's not,
because I feel like Travis kind of got like ADHD brain, you know what I mean? And I don't know anything. I don't know if he's diagnosed or anything like that, but like he just gives me the energy of like he's always bouncing off the wall, and the only time that he can sit down is when he's producing something.
I don't know. It's just it's whack on all levels. Like it's just corny. It's weird. It's like weirdo behavior.
Yeah.
Like, and I can get industry friends or whatever are not really your friends, but in terms of people who have propelled your career, people who you shaped your career after, and also the fact that you're Kanye 2.0 for a younger generation.
Yeah.
In terms of your production, your having other people write your lyrics.
Yeah, I think we should elaborate on that when you're done. How else does he compare?
He also just has these amazing produced albums that people like herald as like the best albums for this or the best album for that. Like people are still playing Fiend. Like they play Fiend at football games and basketball games, doing Call of Duty tournaments. Like he has a reach that is similar to Kanye's reach and expansion.
Right. I think where the comparison between him and Kanye come into play, like he's the new Kanye for this generation. Yeah. We should also maybe look at him like he's not the streets, and he doesn't move like the streets. Kanye doesn't move like the streets either.
No.
Right? So you might have Kanye trying to work with this person and this person and this person, even though like this person dissed this person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like Travis moves the same way. They're just trying to make songs, and they're songwriters, and they're kind of nerdy songwriters, for lack of a better term. So like the street moves or the code that they're supposed to walk in, they're not really abiding by that. And so I think there's people in their circle that doesn't respect that because they do walk in that code. And so can we really blame Travis for being who we know him to be?
No, I don't think so. But I think it's just one of those things that's disappointing because you give people an opportunity to surprise me.
Yeah.
Just surprise me. Be different from whatever your nature seems to be, because it's way easier to seemingly. But like biting the hand that feeds you in that way is kind of weird. But again, habits he learned from Kanye.
Yeah, I'm just sparking the conversation in that way, just framing it that way, even though like I think it was months ago we did not respect anything that Travis did.
Oh, I still don't.
based off of Pusha T's comments when Pusha T lit off on him in his album.
You're a fraud.
The Clips album. So yeah, what else did Cyhi say?
He was talking about Cudi, and then it was kind of, at least in the pictures of the visualizers, alluding to like Kid Cudi's relationship with Pete Davidson, which ultimately became a thing with you know,
they're the same energy person.
Yeah, basically with her and when he was with Kim post divorce or whatever. So it's more like Cyhi continues to be like, y'all didn't pick Kanye.
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
Yeah,
that's crazy. He ain't never did nothing wrong to none of y'all. Oh, my bad. He never did anything wrong to any of y'all. You should that should be your man's.
I disagree, Cyhi. Like,
no, but he's troubled, TJ.
Yeah, so maybe we can explain kind of his last verse a little bit. We don't have to do it line for line, but just kind of get where he's getting at as far as Kanye being troubled, because I think this is a bigger conversation.
Yeah. Well, basically he was saying, I get it, but I understand him in a different way. Y'all know the beautiful, dark, twisted, yay. He's just an honest person. He's just an honest person, but it gets conveyed as somebody with a broken heart against the 808. And then he goes on to say, basically, sometimes you just gotta listen to what your spirit say. Just imagine what having 11 billion and giving that shit away. And he was also kind of alluding to, basically, Kanye says the stuff you want to say, and I'm like, he doesn't.
I don't want to say half the things that Kanye says, so I don't get that, right? Like, I'm not. I get kind of what the sentiment is, right? He is honest. And he's filterless in a lot of ways, but I think in the adult world, when you are an adult, having a filter is a positive thing. It keeps you from getting smacked up by other adults who also don't have a filter, right? I think there's a kind of a rule of thumb where it's like, if it's not helpful, if it's going to be harmful, if it's going to be like impactful in a negative way, maybe it shouldn't be said, maybe it shouldn't be done, maybe it shouldn't be heard. You know what I mean? In those regards. And so having a filter is a good thing,
great thing.
For a lot of cases. And so I don't get Cyhi forgiving Kanye. I'm fine if Cyhi forgives Kanye. That's his relationship. I'm not okay with Cyhi saying, here, just understand him differently because he's telling the truth.
It's another one of those, and we've talked about this for years, where people respect the method more than they respect what you're saying. And he has never used a method that is going to make his message be heard in a way that it should be. If he's, as Cyhi is trying to tell us, he's really saying something good. Like, if he came by and told you, you got an ugly couch,
He's gonna buy you. He's gonna buy you and redesign your whole living room. That is a wild comparison. I'm not talking about interior design, dog. I'm talking about like freedom and politics and things.
Slavery was a choice,
and things that have a negative impact on us in society by saying somebody that has such cachet, such pull, such influence over other people's minds and thoughts. Shouldn't be compared to interior design points of view. And so
call your man's out.
From me, you can hold him accountable for those things that he says. Also, Cyhi, he did know how to say those things better. Mm-hmm. He said those things on College Dropout. Mm-hmm. He said those things on Late Registration. He said those things on, what was it, Graduation.
Yes. I mean, he said it even when he was saying George Bush don't like black people.
Correct.
Like, he still said it incorrect, like, ways. And it's not
in
just
context.
In context. And it's not just because the things he was saying was aligning with our goals, because hold on. I don't know what just happened there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a swig.
I'll just he is in a headspace where I think his, bipolar affliction or just kind of nature of being bipolar has impacted the way that he forms his statements and forms his opinions, but he's still responsible for what comes out of his mouth at the end of the day.
That almost made me want to mention another situation, but that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But yeah, all in all, I think it's corny to not make your mans just be accountable. Mm-hmm. Like, explain it away all you want to. At the end of the day, hurt people. And it don't mean that you didn't hurt somebody else in your hurt. Like, you're hurting a lot of people with the way that you talk. You're hurting a lot of people with the things that you're doing. It don't matter how hurt you are if you're just choosing to hurt others.
And every truth don't need to be said, right? Like, I'm sorry, like, if you come in with, like, let's say the ugly couch, right? I don't need to always comment on your ugly couch. You know what I mean?
It's your couch.
It's their, right.
You happy with the couch. I don't have to like your couch.
Your subjectivity is not always necessary. And so that's what it is, right?
Let's get back to technically some positivity in the midst of negativity. Yeah. Because we're going to talk about how Domani.
But we can't do that out of order.
We can't. We do this for Domani's last.
We got to talk.
Okay.
That's why I said really, because like.
Yeah.
It's still kind of negative. So the T.I. 50 Cent beef has come to a head at this point. This has been a week-long endeavor, maybe a couple weeks actually, and we're in a situation where a month-long endeavor where we didn't have a moment to talk about it, but now we can talk about it because a lot has happened within this past week. And so, backstory. You got that right.
Yeah. So basically, on February 6th, shout out to my daughter's birthday, T.I. went on a nightcap with Shannon Sharp, Ocho Cinco, shout out to Joe Johnson, Little Rock native. And he basically said, excuse me, y'all, that 50 don't want no smoke in terms of doing a versus, which he's been trying to get a versus since COVID or whatever, since verses were really popping. Then a literal day after, 50 Cent, apparently DM'd him, sent him a direct message, keep my name out your mouth. And then he posted a clip of like Crime Stoppers, basically alluding to and saying that T.I. was a snitch.
But did he also post Tiny the same day?
Don't believe he posted her the same day.
Okay.
He was just calling him a snitch and a rat at this point.
Okay.
And then T.I. responded to him calling him King Rat or whatever. And he was saying that 50 is a rat in real life. And then I think by the 22nd, he goes and does the interview with Wallow and Gilly on $1 million worth of game. And somewhere around this time, he had to have dropped the photo before this point.
Yeah, so I think what just really ignited all of this was 50 Cent posting a picture of Tiny in an unflattering image, and basically said the same thing that he said in the DM supposedly is keep my name out of your mouth, and it's because T.I. keeps bringing up 50 in relation to verses and other things.
Yeah,
I don't feel like 50 Cent needed to respond about this, right? But 50 could be just tired of saying like, hey, I'm not going to do this. I addressed this years ago. I'm not going to do a verses. Can we stop talking about this? This is 5 years old or whatever.
I just think he has his business model, and his business model runs off of being petty and beef. Like, it was an easy thing to kind of talk about because you ignored it for years.
Yeah, if you've ever read The 50th Law, like 50 Cent moves in the way that he says in that book, which is a connection to the laws of power.
It's just one of those things where 50 is starting to show. It doesn't seem like you have any new tricks. It feels like you're just a bigger bully version of what Drake was doing to folks.
But that's what T.I. has called him. That's what Domani has called him.
Yeah.
Throughout the tracks that they've released, and so maybe that's a good opportunity to segue to Domani, who has really shined throughout this beef. He's protecting his stepmom in this situation, so he's released a couple tracks. I can't remember the name of the first one, but he said a lot of things about 50 Cent and like related to 50 Cent committing arson or accidentally burning some stuff down in his early years, and
I think it was like when he had like the Prince Mansion or something like that.
I can't remember, but regardless, I think the sentiment about Domani's releases has been he is going in. This kid's got something, and that simultaneously, Domani has also like started promoting a separate single that he released on the side, and so I think the whole family is kind of using this in a positive way to continue to kind of push their music to the forefront.
Yeah.
But T.I., has said in an interview that he didn't like his kids responding, especially King. He didn't need the promotion for his single. Like, the song is doing well.
Yeah.
And ultimately, he was like, I want to be treated like I treat other people. And in this situation, that man didn't have to say anything about my wife, but like in this is the response to it.
Yeah, and also the thing is, verses ain't that big of a deal. If you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. You ain't talked about it in almost 10 years since verses was going on or whatever.
And I would argue verses ain't even as popping as it was then.
No, because you can't create everybody being in the house wanting to feel like we're outside, right, and like setting up these things.
People ain't even watching it at the same time, and even when they watched it, like the last verses with Hit Boy and and who else was it?
Mustard.
Not Mustard. It wasn't Mustard.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't DJ Mustard.
When the Hit Boy.
Mike Will.
My bad. It was one of them.
It was an M. It was an M. Mike Will Mustard. Yeah. Dijon. Anyway, I think that Versus doesn't even have the cachet that T.I. feels it does in this moment. It might be a well-received versus between him and 50 Cent, but I would argue that their timeline is a little askew as far as records are concerned.
And I mean, I feel like, and it's not just my South bias at this point, but T.I. clears that relatively easy. Like, if not
as far as smash hits.
Yeah, smash it, but like different album smash hits. Mm-hmm. Like 50 has moments. 50 has features. 50 has like one of the most classic albums that I think Get Rich or Die Trying is one of those albums that you can play from front to back.
But after 50's third album, it felt like he just wasn't.
He didn't care
doing it anymore.
He moved on to being a mogul. He did the Jay-Z move earlier than Jay-Z did because he already saw what he needed to do with the game.
Right.
So
he was selling vitamin water by then,
like vitamin water, movies, video games. Like he was literally out here being a mogul, moving away from that industry. And even with Curtis, if not for the Kanye collab,
right,
going back and forth with each other, I don't know how that album would have done.
And that seemingly was
he lost that one.
The fall off for his music.
Yeah.
So I don't know. In this T.I. 50 Cent situation, they say that 50 responded.
Yeah.
Through the intro to the new Power series. But it was one line. It was just like your wife has been like screwing other women within Atlanta or something like that.
But it's all enveloped in promotion for Power. Like it's not like you stopped to go at T.I.
Yeah, I think the only good thing that the comment said was like, or kind of clever thing that the comment said is that this is going to be on 5 nights a week and T.I. is going to have to hear it.
Yeah, but yeah, Leon Thomas smoked that though.
That's if T.I. watches it. You know what I mean? So maybe 50's not done. We'll see. And maybe we can respond to it next week. But I don't know. I feel like it's pretty dead in the water.
I think it's all the way dead in the water because like outside of having like he comes with dope intros for Power, but he did the second disc or whatever with Max B, I guess, or whatever that song is. It's okay. Like it's
not. Yeah. It's a thing.
It's a thing that happened.
Right.
But shout out more so, I think, in all of this, like I said, to Domani. Domani, I think, is the shining part of all of this.
He's a shining star. There you go. There's your moment of old school music references.
God. I love old school music references. But yeah, this is how you shine. Like, I respect what it is that they did. I mean, and he's just a dope artist. And I mean, I think I saw a lot of people in the comments kind of talking about he's like the new J. Cole or J. Cole must have inspired him. And I'm like, y'all forget who he lives with.
Right.
Like his father is one of like the top 10 best like lyricists, best cadences, period.
Right.
In the game.
Does anybody remember Swagger Like Us? That whole thing?
Listen. Man, does anybody remember that like T.I. exists within the age of prime Ludacris, prime Lil Wayne, still was getting number ones and going platinum.
Right.
Like going to war when Lil Flip was like, just live your life, man. But anyway,
was that his song? I don't even know.
Yeah, that is his song.
Okay.
Because that was on a T.I. versus T.I.P.
Okay.
But anyway, or no, it was on a.
It's time to go.
Paper Route. Anyway, whatever. I'm trying not to mess up my T.I. reference.
You mean Paper Trail?
Paper Trail. There it is. That's
Paper
the name
boy.
of that. Paper. Xerox copies. Anyway.
Paper money. T.I. paper. Anyway.
We appreciate y'all. Hope you have a great week. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and then hit that bell notification so you can hit that bell notification so you can be notified for every time that we go live. We'll see you in the next piece. A 1 and a 2 and a peace.